Okay, alright. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? We'll start this. Mic check. Sounds good to me. Let's see. Actually, that's good. So this won't be a long stream. It'll be short and sweet. We'll get to the point. What's up, Raja? I know you said hello a little bit while. I don't know if you're still there, but okay. So what we'll be doing today is we'll be ranking every fight from the Infinity Castle. So basically what the three movies might cover here. So spoilers ahead. First of all, there will be spoilers for the manga. So if you're an anime only, probably shouldn't watch this stream. We'll go kind of in depth into the fights themselves and why I have them. It'll be in the format of a tier list as well. So this is in my opinion, I mean, yeah, it's my favorite fights, but it's also, I think, somewhat close to what objectively, if you can even say that, the best fights. So yeah, I might do another stream in the future for Demon Slayer. We might just rank characters or talk about the movie maybe after, you know, there's definitely things we could do. So let's get right into the tier list. This looks good to me. Okay. So let's go here. What is this? All right. Okay. All right. So today the fights that we'll be ranking will be Muzan, Kokushibo, Doma, Akaza, Kaigaku, and Nakime. So we'll be ranking all their fights from 1 to 7. So I mean, what we could do instead of this, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, so okay, so let's start from the bottom. Obviously, I think the 7th one is pretty obvious. If you've read the manga, it will be the so we don't have her here. Didn't even realize that. Okay, wait, let's just do it quick. I just add Nakime. I didn't even realize she wasn't even here, bro. Alright, so Nakime will be in 7th place. I think this one's pretty obvious. I think in the anime it's going to be a pretty fun fight, especially because of the Infinity Castle itself and how they're probably gonna utilize it with the characters moving. I think Mitsuri as well is a perfect Ashura to be in this place because of how she fights. Right, she just does backflips and she just moves around a lot. So I think it would be perfect. In terms of the anime, I think it's gonna look great with Terao, and just the 3D itself of the Infinity Castle is just gonna look pretty insane. So it's gonna be fun. But in terms of the manga, you know, a lot of it is just comedic relief, to be honest, with Mitsuri. There's a few cool moments here and there with Obanai and her, but that'll be that for that. So sixth, at the sixth place for me, wait. Oh. Wait, I might be. I counted Muzan 2 times with the pictures. Okay, we'll just go like this. Okay. I literally just counted Muzan 2 times, so yeah, let's just forget about that. Okay. So next, I think for me, I do have the Kaigaku fight at the 5th place. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good fight. It's kind of funny looking at the trailers. How much people are hyped for it in terms of the Zenitsu. Like, Zenitsu literally got one frame and he's just everywhere. It's so popular. So that fight is gonna be doing super well. I think it's gonna be well received. People are gonna love that. It's gonna go crazy on the internet. I think one of the things that I really like about this is how it's lightning or thunder versus thunder. Kaigaku's black thunder and then Zenitsu's kind of yellow bluish. So the clash of that is just really cool. Just seeing two thunder breeder users just go at it. It's a cool little character arc for Zenitsu as well. Obviously seeing him awake for the first time in the story and being this badass. Him using 7th form as well is a pretty cool twist since he's been using the same form the entire show. I think Kaigaku, I don't hate him as much as people do. I think he's just an alright character, he's good. I do like his character design overall. And I like how he's sprinkled in throughout the story a little bit. I do wish we could have seen more of him prior to the fight. I think it would have hit a lot harder and better if we actually saw Kaigaku's character and explore this character a little bit before we got the fight, instead of just like seeing him in the flashback for 20 seconds. We don't even see his face, and then a little bit in the Guillaume backstory. But overall, I do like everything. It's pretty like impactful, especially at the end with Zenitsu seeing his master or his Gramps as well. So I think it's a good fight, and it will be great in the anime for sure. Next fight will be the Doma fight. So Doma at 4th place. Again, I think it's a beautiful fight in terms of the blood demon art used from Doma. His ice, obviously, ice in anime, ice powers are always really cool, some of the best. And I think Doma is actually one of the most beautiful depiction of ice powers I've seen. I just love how many powers Gotoge give to Doma with his eyes. There's just so many things that he uses. His sharp fans as well are super clean. Doma has an amazing design. Everything, the entire aesthetic with Doma is just super entertaining as well. I think the Shinobu and Doma stuff is done pretty damn well. Overall, I don't really have anything bad to say about that fight. It's pretty short, so I think the anime will make it a little bit longer and not speed run it. And then I do have few problems when the Inosuke and Kano fight starts, but overall, I think it's a great fight. I love Kano is probably my favorite female character. You know, she's up there with Shinobu and Tamayo, but I think she's the perfect character to be fighting Doma because of what her character arc has been, that, you know, she was suppressing all of her emotions because of trauma when Doma has no emotions. I think it's a cool dynamic there. The Inosuke stuff with his mom is a little bit shoehorned in there. You know, it's kind of just, oh, I gotta give something to Inosuke in that fight. Same thing with that, like Kaigaku. I wish we could have learned more about this prior, in terms of Inosuke and his mom and that Doma connection. But other than that, the fight itself is cool. Obviously, I would have liked to see Doma being able to go all out as much as he can with not having emotions, but, you know, fighting maybe stronger people instead of just, because he was playing around the entire fight, he wasn't really trying. So but other than that, I mean, I think it's a great fight. Very entertaining, cool choreography. The end with the Buddha at the end, the Ice Buddha, is really dope. And Kano using her final form as well. It's all just really cool. So I think it's a really great fight overall. A few problems, but great fight. Next up, we have... This is where it actually gets tough for me. The first and the third and second place is a little bit hard to me. Let me know this one. Where would you guys place those two? So I'll tell you guys. No, actually I won't. Never mind. I was gonna, but then I was gonna kind of spoil what the top two was gonna be. So So I'll do something, okay? I'll put the Muzan fight at third. But I do think once the Muzan fight is animated, it will be top two for me, at least. Depending on how Ufotable does it, but I do feel like it's the final fight. They're gonna elevate this fight quite a bit. And really the only problem or the thing that makes it under the second fight, I think it's gonna be mostly fixed, or I won't feel this as much. It's a complaint, so I'll get into it. So that's kind of a complaint that I hear from most people with the Muzan fight, and it's that Muzan as a fighter is kind of boring. I think I don't feel it as much as other people as well on that one, but I do wish with what Muzan's Blood Demon Art or his power is to shapeshift and being super precise in this. I wish Gotoge would have done more with that, because he really just does the same thing. In general, most of the fight he just utilizes his tentacles the entire fight. One thing that I do think most people don't even realize that he uses and that there is in the fight, I never hear people bring this up. I think it's gonna be more clear in the anime, but every of his tentacles of his arms have mouths, and those mouths basically just I don't know how did they call it. They basically just suck the air in, so it can just drag you. It does that with Mitsuru at some point where she dodges the attack, but it just sucks her in to the attack even though she dodged it. So, and the depiction of it is tornadoes. So I think in the anime that's gonna be cool. I don't know how it's gonna look, if it's gonna be like wind tornadoes or it's gonna be blood tornadoes. So that's a little cool effect or attacks that's going to be added in. But yeah, other than that, it's mostly just him swinging his tentacles. He does have a kind of blast AMP attack towards the end as well. That's really cool. He only uses it one time. The second time it doesn't really work. But yeah, so since his power is shapeshifting, I would have done more with that. A great example to compare to is Maito from JJK. He has basically the same power, where you see Maito just doing a lot of things, right? Create wings, create other creatures out of his thing. I mean, Muzan does make demons, but he doesn't like create clones or demons or whatever out of nothing. He has to turn people, so I mean, Maito just does a bunch of things, like really turn his arm into blades and stuff. I mean, Muzan kinda does, but not really. So I just basically wish Muzan would have done more. I feel like Otoge could have went super creative with that fight. I think that's mostly the thing that's missing with the fight, because I do think, for me, it probably is the fight with the higher stakes. It just feels with the higher stakes, and just seeing everyone fight together and having especially the countdown to the sunrise as well just adds that tension that I was talking about. Like, I think that's one of the best, my favorite thing about that fight. Yeah, I mean, then you have like the Obanai backstory. I don't mind it that much personally. Probably would have been better if it was done earlier in the series in terms of his backstory. But I mean, other than that, I don't have much problems with that fight. I mean, I think the execution of the end with him turning into a baby, in terms of the themes and his character, it does fit. It makes sense. Like on paper, it kind of sounds good, but I think the execution of the baby and transforming into a baby is kind of jarring a little bit. So I don't know if that's gonna turn out in the anime. I don't know if people are gonna like it that much, especially if it's CG. It might look weird. I don't know. Base anime, Muzan don't have any fighting techniques. Yeah, he doesn't really. I mean, which it fits with his character. He's not a fighter. He's not a warrior, so it makes sense that he's not like the greatest fighter. But he is creative. He has a lot of brains, so he could still have more in his. He should have more in his bag, especially after being alive for 1,000 years. But we do see as well his blood rambles or whatever that he uses against Guillaume before the Infinity Castle arc. We never really see him use it again. I mean, it's basically the same thing as his tentacles, so it makes sense that he hasn't to use that after. But so yeah, I mean, great fight, a lot of good stuff. Him versus Tanjiro is really good. Overall, there's a lot of cool things in that fight. The end of the Muzan fight as well, with literally everyone, like Gyu grabbing the sword with Tanjiro and turning it red. Mitsuri ripping his arm off. All that stuff is really cool. Number 2, Tanjiro and the Water Ashira versus my glorious Akaza. Yep, thanks for the leeway here, for the segue. So yeah, Akaza, top 2 here. Again, I think the anime could elevate Muzan to be here and Akaza here. But in terms of the manga, for me, I think it's that. I think the Akaza fight is overall a little bit better. I think it would have been cool to see a little bit more Tanjiro and Gyu team combo against Akaza. I think it would have been cool to see them just having a cool teamwork battle with Akaza. We didn't really see it. Every time Gyu was fighting Akaza, Tanjiro was going for one attack, Akaza was stopping him, and that was about it. So there was never really just jumping Akaza type thing. But yeah, obviously Akaza's backstory, amazing. Probably the best backstory. I mean, it's up there with Kokushibo and Yoriichi. But I think most people would probably say he has the best backstory in the story. yeah, just the revenge for Rengoku with Tanjiro done well. I'm sure the anime will add some stuff about Rengoku as well. Uh, I don't. Another complaint I see is people say that Tanjiro monologues a lot and talks a lot during the fight. I don't think that's necessarily the problem. I think him talking like this and figuring things out, I don't have a problem with that. It fits with his character as well. I think it's mostly the fact that there's not enough fighting. I think so. It seems like there's too much dialogue. There's as much dialogue as fighting, and there should be more fighting than dialogue. So I think that's kind of the problem. I don't have that much of a problem with what Tanjiro thinks about because he has to figure out Akaza's technique, right? So it makes a little bit more sense when he's able to defeat him. Number one, Upper Moon versus Stone. The fight is kind of short. Yeah, it is. It's funny because if you look at the chapters, it's like what, 10, 9 to 10 chapters, I think, maybe 9, counting the backstory. But it doesn't feel like there's that much fighting. I mean, Tanjiro probably has more fighting than Gyu versus Akaza, I think. But yeah, I think the anime will elevate this and fix some of those issues. I think there's gonna be a lot more fighting, and so I think the dialogue and stuff is not gonna feel as jarring as in the manga. So I'm not really worried personally about this. I could see people say as well the way he defeats him, figuring out an exact counter to Akaza's compass and defeating him that way. I could see people not liking that. For me, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. On one end, I don't really care. I think it makes sense with Tanjiro's character. Again, he figures out the ability, which kind of plays into him having a previous encounter with him and surviving it. And then him not having a compass, a fighting compass, also makes sense. Like, if someone wasn't going to have a fighting compass, it's going to be someone like Tanjiro, so don't have too much problem there. But yeah, I mean, that's about it for the Akaza fight. So we're down to the first one. Let's go. I think at this point everyone knows which one it is. All right. First one, Kokushibo fight. The Kokushibo versus Guillaume, Sanemi Genya, and Moichiro. I think it's the best fight in Demon Slayer. I think it's perfect. I think it does what Demon Slayer does perfectly in every aspects. I think let me think. I think the only thing in this fight that I wish was done a little bit better or different is the way Kokushibo sees himself into Sanemi's sword. I think the execution of that, I don't really know how he's able to just see a reflection of himself into Sanemi's sword when they're fighting so fast. It just doesn't make sense to me. It feels like a stretch. Like, it could have just been like Guillaume's spike ball, whatever you call it, and it's like stuck in front of him and he has to see himself. I think that would have made a little bit more sense. Didn't feel too, But other than that, I don't really have a problem with him the way he dies. A lot of people, I feel like, kind of gloss over the fact that the stab wound that Moichiro did with his red blade didn't fully heal as he healed his head. And when he lost the fighting spirit, or the want to live, that wanting to ascend and not die, when he kind of just lost that for like a second or two, which we see is what they need, right? With Akaza, like, he needs that fire spirit, or that spirit to want to live and just grow stronger. For him to actually be able, you need that resolve to be able to grow your head back. So yeah, that's the weed. I don't really have much of a problem with that. And then yeah, the fight itself, Guillaume versus like the 1v1 between Guillaume and Kokushibo, sick. In this we actually get some great team combo of Sanemi and Guillaume versus Kokushibo. I wish we got more of that with Tanjiro and Gyu versus Akaza, but we got that in the Kokushibo fight. So I think that was perfect. Kokushibo having the long sword, the line of dialogues, Sanemi pulling up and saving Genya. Just little moments with Moichiro where he literally loses an arm and he just ties his arm with his mouth instantly and just goes. That's sick. Just everything Kokushibo does, basically just using moon breathing and just cutting Moichiro's arm instantly as soon as he uses breathing. Him appearing behind Genya and just cutting him in half, like he's just insane. Guillaume was locked in that fight. Yeah, the reflection. Yeah. Yeah, Guillaume using his mark, like just knowing that Guillaume can basically just awaken his mark on command was really cool. And then just Sanemi unlocking the mark as well as a hype moment. Genya using a blood demon art as well. It's pretty cool. And then obviously just the end as well with Moichiro and everyone just going on Kokushibo for a last attack. That part as well was hype. And obviously the entire backstory with Kokushibo and Yoriichi as well. The flute. Just Yoriichi dialoguing, just talking over basically the new generation cutting Kokushibo's head is probably one of my favorite moments there. And then obviously the end of the fight. We know what happens after that fight. With Udais and all that, so that's probably one of the roughest. I don't know if the anime onlys, especially people that are really invested in Demon Slayer, the characters, I don't know if they're gonna survive that. But yeah, once that fight gets animated, it's gonna be... I don't even know. I don't know what's gonna happen when that comes out, but I know Ufotable's gonna go insane on it. I think like Tengen versus Gyutaro is gonna seem like a baby compared to that once it's animated. Hopefully, if Ufotable does go crazy, I think yeah, the Gyutaro versus Tengen fight is gonna look like nothing. It gives Super Saiyan vibes with Guillaume. Yeah, with the freaking cracks in his arms as well. But that's about it. So that's the top 6 of the Infinity Castle. No, I can see how someone, like, I mean, other than maybe the Nakime fight, because it's barely a fight, I could see any of these fights being someone's favorite. I mean, if Zenitsu is your favorite character, this might be your favorite fight. I know Doma has a lot of fans, you know, Shinobu as well, so I can see that. Obviously, his Blood Demon art as well. I feel like out of those 5, maybe 4, I feel like Muzan's fight is probably the most underrated, or that people would put lower in general, at least from what I've seen, but I'm not sure. And then I think the Kokushibo fight is the most popular. It's always the one that I see most of the time being first in people's list, which just makes sense. As I said, I think it's by far the best fight in every aspect. So that's it. As I said, I do want to probably do a maybe ranking all of my favorite characters or stuff like this in the future and streams. We might get some new content footage trailer in the next few weeks because the movie is coming out in Japan. So if there is something, we'll probably react to that. And also, yeah, we got the news that the movie is in fact 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 35 minutes. So that's pretty exciting. It's gonna be a long movie. We'll see how the animation, if the animation is just peaked the whole way through. I hope so. That's about it. If you guys have anything else to say in the chat before we go, let me know. But this will be that. Can you check my Kokushibo edit? I mean, I'll watch it. I can watch it after the stream, once I end the stream. I will also go live in the next few days, maybe tomorrow, maybe the other day, where I will probably just talk about Hunter x Hunter, and just talk about anime, manga in general as well, so that'll be the next streams in the next few days. And other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video on Tomb of Demons here. Oh yes, once the movie comes out as well, we'll probably get the staff who works on the movie. So once that comes out, I'll probably want to just do a video to talk about the staff and expectations, and just talk about maybe how people felt about the movie overall in Japan and what people are feeling over it. Just general thoughts. I don't want to know everything about the movie, but so yeah, that's that. It's in choice. Yeah, I got you, man. I'll look at that after. Can you rank your JJK next? What do you want from JJK? The fights, the characters? Maybe once we get something with season 3 around there or something. Maybe at that point I'll do maybe something more. What manga are you gonna react to after SBR? If I'm being honest, I probably will, unless there's something. I mean, I'm still a few months away from finishing that, so we'll see where I'm at when we get at the end of SBR. But for now, I don't plan on doing another manga reaction after that. I think if Hunter x Hunter comes back, I'll obviously react to that. Maybe I'll continue Berserk, but other than that, I think I won't be. I'm not planning on doing any other manga reaction. The Maki versus Toji debate. I don't think I would need to reread to be able to do any debate. I don't feel that confident in my power scaling. Or, I mean, I don't know if you're talking about power scaling or just the two characters, you know. But, yeah, I'm not too confident in my power scaling JJK. I'm not up to date with that much. How about other Togashi series? Yeah, I do need to read, because I don't think I'll watch the anime, but I do want to read Yu Yu Hakusho for sure. I don't know if I'll do streams though. I kind of want to continue just anime reactions, maybe movie reactions. I do feel a little bit more in my element. It's a little bit easier for me to do there than manga reactions, but I will definitely be reading mangas in my own time, but I just don't think I'll be doing reactions. I could do reviews. I do like doing reviews for certain mangas. That's probably something I'm gonna look into doing, but Levelly, yeah, it's short and easy to finish. How long is Levelly? I actually don't know how many chapters there are in that series. But as I said, I mean, maybe in because again, in terms of SBR, I still got 45 chapters to go, so I don't think I'm gonna be done with this year. I mean, maybe by the end of the year in December, maybe. But so by the time I'm there, maybe I'll look into doing Lovely. I just don't know as well how well Lovely would do on YouTube, but 16 chapters, okay. And the chapters are normal length or like 20 pages, classic Togashi, or are they longer? Alright, so I think we'll end it here, guys. So good 35-minute stream about that around there. Just realized this is not good little 35-minute stream. Three volumes worth, okay. So about 30 chapters, double the length around there. Alright. Alright. So thanks everyone for being here on this little stream. It was a little bit last minute. I only talked about doing this stream. I mean, I talked about it on Sunday, but I posted the community post like 3 hours ago, so yep, I'll see you guys on next one.